colleagues online, hello, I'm Evgeny, and today I'd like to continue the topic that Sumesh started. We would like to talk about MC Montan injector E technology, and I'd like to share with you our story from Russia. And okay, let's start. So our story starts more than 5 years ago. So it was 2015. It's my personal first impression. Then I just watched first videos on YouTube with Eurytech company. I think you know that company. Everybody knows Eurytech. Okay. So it's an international applicator franchise for soil stabilization, and they provide that marketing on YouTube with good videos. And at the same year, I got first presentations from Bochap about injections under the slabs. It was a very long time ago. I know that Holger told me that some story started in the 90s, but it was very far. I started working in MC 2008, and that's why I just first time have seen possibility to inject under the slab more than 5 years ago. So what happened next year? Based on that, it was new resin developed. It's called MC Inject ER. This is, I can say, first version of Montan Inject OE. And when I first time seen that resin, I was really expressed about how it works. I found out that it's another type of resin comparable with existing expandable polyurethane-based resins like MC Inject, well-known MC Inject 2700, for example. And the main idea of that resin that it expands, but it expands with big power, which can save money and get very good results when you use it in proper way. So I was excited that new product, and we realized first global reference using that prototype product. This was very interesting project. I have already shown that before. It was Rostov nuclear power plant, and I have a reference presentation about that project describing all stuff, but if you need, I can provide it to you. Idea was to stabilize the soil under the slab. And also at the end of the year, new marketing video was made. It's not shown here, but maybe you've seen that video when we are lifting the slab. So it's already old video, and we also provided some support to get such video. And now we have best new videos which are more interesting and more helpful. So let's go to next year. It was 2017. So it's that year, new product, MC Montan Inject OE, launched, and it was year then MC Montan line of the products starts. And so we started to grow our experience, and we realized some projects with slab stabilization. And for example, you can see the very big logistic terminal where we injected resin to stabilize the slabs. And also, we understood at that year that it's not possible to convince the client without any technical data and proofs, because it's for us it was totally new, and it was idea to start full-scale testing to get more information how and details and numbers how to prove clients to do more responsible job. I mean, when we like to consolidate the soil, to improve the soil under the foundations, to improve strength of that and so on. And I remember my talk in Porto with Mr. Mondos about possibility to do that test on the factory in the Kirovsk. It was, I think, a year before that, and it was we decided that let's do that, and we built the team using colleagues from St. Petersburg Polytechnic University and real well-known experts from St. Petersburg. It's from Geo Reconstruction. It's a geotechnical company. And we built the full-scale experiment. So we injected up to 3 meters approximately to the soil and compare the parameters, which parameters we can achieve with our injection and without our injection. And we were very surprised when we dig out the soil after Montan injection. We can see that lamellas into the soil. It looks like vertical and horizontal lamellas cross with connections, and it strengthens the soil. It looks like rebars the soil. And also we passed the test how we can change settlement based on static loads tests, and find out that we can get the increase in of E modulus. E modulus is parameter which provides the settlement, and for example in 2 times. Depends on soil conditions and so on. I don't want today to go so deep in technical details because this topic of calculations of geomechanics is very specific. Yeah, but it's possible to get also somewhere for everybody of you to get if you require such knowledges about that special thing. But I'd like to give you in general idea how it works. Okay, based on that full-scale result, we published 2 articles, Scopus articles together with Polytechnic University, and I'm one of the author of one of the article. It's also published, and you can view that also. And the second stage was that we talked with Holger Gröber, that we have a competition with Euritech, and find out that our strengths comparable with Euritech is a little bit less. And after that, we got a new receipt of MC Montan injector-E with proportion 1:2, which provides us better performance with strength, comparable with our competitor. So it was, for us, it was very important because from that time we can use references or can continue references from our competitor because we have even better product, and based on that we can more easy to change our competitor to our solution. And also we start invest in our own equipment to provide service to clients to show how technology works. If we have this 1:2 proportion, we need special pump, and we bought pump from Desui, which provide us ratio 1:2 and good flow. Yeah, so how many liters it can inject in minute. What is also required for good deep injection with MC Montan injector-E. So next year we are already equipped with pump, and we used that for also get experience with in one hydropower plant where we stop the water using MC Montan injector E with very fast and fast and effective result. So we stop very big pressure water. So it also can be used for water stopping resin. And also it's very interesting that we got a first good reference. It's new factory in Siberia with a turnover around 60,000 euros, and plus after that they used around 50,000 euros of resin floors, like a second offer. So we also like to see what we can do next, and we got agreement to invest all in some extra tools which can provide us better service to our clients and to have possibility to provide like a toolbox. So it's not like a resin, it's not like a resin plus pump. It's including a laser measuring tool we bought from Hilti. We also seen that from Sumish. We bought a drill machine which we can drill cores into the concrete for using and we bought our own penetrometer from Italian producer to get possibility to check soil before injection, and it's very important because you have to get first idea how deep you have to inject. So is it just for under the slab or maybe 2 or 3 meters deeper? And using that penetrometer test you can recognize that, and you can get first impression how deep you need to inject and what is approximate amount of area you need to inject. So let's talk a little bit in deep about the reference new factory in Siberia, in Russia. So you can see that new factory, they produce very good quality milk products. This is very new, very good ecological products which are very high. What is the correct word for that? It's like
biological.
Biological and
let's say superfood.
Superfood, yeah. And so, what how look like that factory from inside, and they recognize that they have nothing, so they have gaps under the slab, under the floor, like sometimes 30 centimeters, 10 centimeters, they have nothing, because all that water which coming from that lines are going down and remove the soil from under the slab. So they have that empties, and the problem that equipment that equipment starts smooth, and it's not it can be dangerous for production if that starts smooth, and it has to be stopped. That has to be stopped. That is the reason why they start to do that. So we provide for them our technology, and why they used us, because we said that you don't need to stop your production. You can produce your products. Please not stop. We will work just on the night shift and clean off after our night shift, and then come back, and you will get not so big inconvenience with our job. And it was the main point thing why they choose our technology. So let's see the video, please. So a little bit see how it was done. So we injected here directly under the slab. You can see this bit. This is a ladder tool. We always use it for control that nothing is lifting. So we have a hole, we inject and wait for then resin comes in the nearest hole and do it step by step on all required area to fill that empty under the slab. It's by finger we stop the resin, so it's blocked by itself because it's a very fast reaction to the resin. And after that we are switching to the next. Okay, so result was very good. We filled the gap absolutely, and we provide also absolutely waterproofing under the slab, under the floor. And what happened that all water which comes through the floor starts collected on the floor, and they recognize that and also rebuild all this drainage system. And so now it works. Until now, they are happy with that result. And so we did it, and they have no more movements of their equipment, and they produce their products, and absolutely happy. So, little bit about figures about that project. So it was done under 700 meters. Our applicator worked only at night shift. Average consumption on square meter was around 4 liters. So it's possible to inject 100 meters per one shift for one night, and we reached waterproofing effect, and also few of gaps and stop settle. Okay, so now last year it was a great year of a lot of other interesting projects we realized. You can see here the list of them. At the moment we have more than 15 references already, so we collect that experience. I know every project, and I will share with you more interesting of this because of time. One of them is the food factory in Moscow region. You can see the same situation like it was a new factory. You can see production of the marmelads here, and the guy's injection that under the floor again. Here we have very short video. So we inject under at the moment when we start first lifting, and it was the reason to stop injection because we'd like just to consolidate the soil, to stop the settlement, and no lifting. So it depends on the task. Second one is already sometimes shown before, and Marcus shown that it was the biggest project for us for that product. We sold out more than 50 tons of MC Montan injector E for that project. This is a project of strengthening the soil under the foundation of the huge crane. And this crane is have to provide, but it's a big oil company, and so that crane is very important because it's responsible for delivery production, and it's also the point that they need solution which can be done when it's without really big stop of the operation of that crane. So it was sometimes we injected we ejected, then stops for some hours, train go through, and then we continue our injection. And it was also the main reason why they choose us compared with other types of traditional methods how to improve the soil, for example, cement base and so on. So we can be very fast, we use very small easy handle equipment, and you can use result of your injection immediately after you stop injection. So this is how it looks like from the job site. You can see the lenses around the foundation. Foundation is looks like T letter, and this is a broken stone, and this is sand. So we inject it behind the broken stone and also inside the broken stone to provide strength the soil under the foundation. And the topic was to stop the settlement of foundation again. And on some areas we already lived some foundations, so we got first experience from job site we've lived in. You can see there technology. So very strong equipment, easy to handle, and you can imagine that it's a project of very high responsibility. This crane weighs 270 tons plus 40 tons of goods with some moment because it has hand, right? And it go through, so we have to provide very strong argumentation that it works and how it was done. So we invite a company who get calculations. So they have geological reports, what is the soil, and I call that planners, but geological experts calculate which parameters of the soil we have to achieve. When we injected, MC Montan injected LE, and after direct methods, for example, press flow test was used to evaluate which parameters we achieved after injection. If we fulfill what was required for planners, so result, it means we achieve our result. And it was done several times, and everywhere we achieve even more than it was required. So please don't be shy of it's possible to do the possible jobs, I believe, everywhere, in every country. Yes, it's a question of big responsibility, but you do injection and you provide proof by direct methods and from third-party companies that gives us figures what we can achieve. So it's also their responsibility already, and so it works. In general, it works, and that's why we got such experience and provide 700 meters of that railways consolidation and sold out more than 50 tons of MC Montan. Okay, once again, crane weight 247 tons, goods around 40 tons. Land settlement is that it's okay to have 5 millimeters, but in fact we got less, 3.5, and it was elastic deformation. So when train is going through, this comes back again. So at the end, no settlement. So we got that result, and we continued to talk with that client, and so we expect to have more cranes, especially in that company and others. We have a second stage of a project for next year, for example. Next very interesting project is also was done last year, but in December. It's a Amur gas factory place in Far East. Project of Gazprom. So it was under construction by Turkish company, and that aim was the same, to stop the settlement, to achieve required parameters of e-modulus. So this is some pictures from foundation solution, and you can see this foundation under which these structures be injected. So it was very high responsibility structure. They already built all and got settlement, and you can see that they put some steels under this metal cone. So foundation is settled, but they have to have this one level of that metal because a lot of tubes on top, right? So and settle. So you can see that it's like already too much, and they have to do something to stop it. And they choose us because we can do it very fast again, and they can get result immediately. So let's see from the job that what was like. So we used injection lenses keep up to 3.5 meters under foundation. Inject, lift the lens during injection. And after test methods was also used to get parameters what we achieved in the end. It also was absolutely successful. We stopped the settlement. And you can hear the speed of injection. As usual, the pressure of the pumping is around 120 bars. In December, so they built to cover this job site and provide heaters to get the temperature, and they did it before 1 month we come. So they provide temperature conditions, and it was possible to do also at the winter time. So the ground was not freezed. The lines without stopping the injection. This is truly good. Yeah. It's from indicator. You can see the foundation starts leaking. It's more than 100 tons on it. So it means that we lost the stop. It means that all what is under the foundation already improved enough, and we can switch. Okay. So we also use some penetrometer tests to compare what was before our injection. So we can see that the red squares where we have weaknesses into the soil and comparable with after injection. You can see also I call that green squares, and so we have filled gaps, we filled voids into the soil weaknesses, and that's the reason why they get stopped in that settlement. So we increase the modulus of the soil from 6 to 31. And total loss of that foundation was about 160 tons. So once again, they have the very responsible tubes for gas on the top, and that was did in 6 days and solved. I remember that they called to my colleague hello Andre, you have to come. We will buy a ticket to you when you can. Yeah, so we after that recognized that it was possible to sell 2 times more high price or even 3 times higher price. But we got good margin, but it was also possible to get 2 times more. It was absolutely not no matter, especially in that situation. So, what's next? Now, at the next level, so to use penetrometer, to use pump, to use resonance, looks like also like Uretech can provide. And this always switch Uretech to our solution because we're more flexible and we can get the best offer comparable with competitors. So what next? So we recognize that we need to have draft. We have to get possibility to have very precise draft calculations before injections. So what settlement we can stop, what area we have to inject. That's why it also was decided to buy a Plexus program. This is a program which can we can calculate what area we have to inject, with what parameters we can get, and what we can get based on that with our foundation. So can we stop the settlement if we inject just 1 meter, or maybe we need to inject 2 meters? Depends on loads and so on. So they use that program to provide that ideas. So we are not professionals in that. We need that just for first opinion. How deep we need to inject, for example, how many square or cubic meters we have to inject, what parameters we have to achieve. And it gives us a first idea and calculation how much it can cost. When, if our client would like to get proof results, he always can do that with some geotechnical company who can give it in the right way with all required calculations with professionals and so on. But it's important to get information before to go deep to the project, how much it costs, and then and in general, and what parameters we can achieve. So we also invested to buy bigger pump. It's dual mix 2 component 230. You have seen that pump yesterday, which is not very big. It's middle size bigger pump. So we like to inject more. It means provide more power, and we would like to have possibility to inject more liters per meter. Sometimes it's required for strong soils and then depths up to 10 meters. So our experience is growing. As I told you, we have more than 15 projects already realized, and so we are open absolutely to share our experience with all of you. So what is in the end? We have 2 boxes of that. So we have a MC Montan injector E, we have a pump, we have bigger pump, we have 2 our own penetrometer tests, we have laser 2, we have a core drilling machine, and we have Plexus for calculation. This is our toolbox, which we can what it give us, give us to provide ready solution to our client. Of course, we also train applicators and who deal with that special technology. So what is the future? I think that we have very good future, but based on our deals, and for us it's important to collect all experience in our country, in all countries. I think it's a this technology has a very good potential in the future, and at the moment, I think that our turnover with that product, just the product MC Montan and Jack at the end of that year will be in total around 100 tons. And we have a list of around 30 projects which we are working on it at the moment, so for future. So it means that we are, I think that we are doing right things, and it absolutely has very good potential for growth. So thank you very much for your attention.